Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. It's Johnny Keeley here, and in this one we're going to be talking about negative comments on social media, specifically the positive impact of negative comments on your posts and also a positive way to look at negative comments. I think this is quite an important subject because taking on negative comments can be quite a contributor to burnout and also can contribute to quite a lot of the problems around mental health and social media. Another reason I wanted to talk about this is because negative comments can be a barrier for people who want to get started on social media, maybe creating that YouTube channel or that Instagram account, and anything that stops people creating is something that I think needs to be dealt with. So, number one, the first positive thing to come out of negative comments is it counts as engagement. Of course it does. This is a simple one and this is an obvious one. If someone leaves a negative comment on your post, it obviously counts as engagement. If you respond to them, that also counts as engagement. These platforms do not really care whether the comments are positive or negative. In actuality, a controversial post that brings quite a lot of differing opinions and with it quite a lot of negative comments can actually be a real driving force and can really bring a lot of engagement to you. If you just think about Facebook, those posts that pop up with just hundreds and hundreds of comments, I guarantee for the most part they are people having arguments. Now that's not necessarily a good thing for the creator to get involved with those arguments, but the point I'm trying to make is that just because they're negative comments doesn't mean they don't count as engagement and they're not helping your account. Whether you should respond to them is something we're going to go into later, but for the most part, just want to make it clear that when someone leaves a negative comment on your post, that's a slight boost of your engagement. Number two, another positive thing that can come out of negative comments is it can rally some of your followers to actually defend you. If someone starts attacking you on social media, some of your loyal followers may jump in and defend you, and this creates more of a closeness between you and your followers. It also lets your other followers know that you have a loyal following. If you just think about all those famous singers out there who almost have a constant argument happening on Twitter, you know, they have people attacking them, they have a loyal fan base who are defending them. You know, it boosts the profile of the person that is being talked about, and that actually creates quite a good vibe around your profile and shows that you have a community around what you do. Number three, another really positive thing that can come out of someone deciding to leave a negative comment is it gives you a chance to show that you are a professional and that you can rise above and react with positivity, or maybe you react with something very clever. Now, I think we all react in different ways. You know, no one's perfect. Sometimes I will dig in, sometimes I will be incredibly sarcastic, and sometimes I just won't respond at all. But the ideal for me, and this is only me speaking for myself, is for me to respond in a way that makes that person think twice about the negative comment they left or makes them rethink their opinion altogether. I'll give some examples at the end of the video on how I personally choose to respond to negative comments, but the point that I'm trying to make is that by someone leaving a negative comment, they have actually given you the opportunity to respond and show that you can rise above it and that you are a professional. I think this one really speaks to personal brands and businesses, companies, things like that. Often this can make or break a company, and some companies' whole personality is based around the way that they react to negative comments on social media. Now, number four, we're getting into some of the ones which are more about a positive way to look at negative comments. Now, if someone has decided to spend time on your post typing out a negative comment, you know, time is the only thing that none of us will get back, and they have decided to spend their time trying to cut you down or make you feel less than you are. Now, they have seen you as someone worth cutting down, and someone worth cutting down or worth bringing down is obviously someone who is either successful or on their way to success. Not everyone's going to agree, but if someone has taken the time to tell you that you're wrong, to try and say something negative about you, to try and make you feel bad, you know, you should be flattered by that because they have decided that you're worth cutting down. You don't necessarily need to respond to it, but, you know, this is something that comes with a success. This is something that comes from being put in front of people who you don't know. And that kind of leads us on to the next one, which is number five, people outside your normal circle are starting to see your content. A way to explain this would be, imagine you have your group of friends. They are very unlikely to leave negative comments on your post. Then let's branch it out a bit. Okay, so these are the people who followed you from the beginning. They are also unlikely to leave negative, nasty comments. And as you branch further and further out and your content starts being put in front of people who have never seen it before and don't know you, they might be compelled to leave negative comments. Now that only happens when lots and lots of people are starting to see your content. So what you can start to say inside is, okay, I'm starting to get more and more negative comments. That means that more and more people are seeing my content, more people further afield, my reach is growing, and again, that is only a good thing. The point of these is to let you know that negative comments kind of are inevitable. There are people out there which will want to bring you down and cut you down. And we're going to go into now some of the ways that I personally think about and respond to these negative comments. Now, I tend to react to negative comments in probably one of 4 different ways. The first is react positively, the second is react sarcastically, the third is to react actually negatively and try and, bounce it back in their face, and 4 is to just not respond at all, which in most cases is the most powerful response of all of those. So let me give you a few examples of negative comments and how I would respond to them and why. The first would be a reasonably critical but slightly constructive comment, something like, "This was the least helpful video I've ever seen." Okay, now the positive response to that would be, "Hey, sorry I didn't help you this time, maybe next time." Something like that, completely diffuses the situation. Sarcastic comment, something I'm probably more likely to leave, would be, "Yeah, I highly doubt that." The point being, have I really just created the least helpful video that person has ever seen? It's possible, but it's highly unlikely. The negative would be to just dig into them, which again, don't do that. Now the fourth would be to just not respond at all and downvote. That applies to YouTube comments, little different on Instagram comments, but you can still report people and things like that. But that's not really a reportable offense, is it? Someone just saying that they thought your video was unhelpful. But let's go on to another type of comment, which is something along the lines of, "I hate the way you look." Okay? There's only one way to respond to an attack on your personality or your appearance, and that is just to completely ignore it. Delete the comment if you want to, report the person if you want to, give whatever signal you feel you need to give to the platform that lets that platform know that this person does not belong in the platform's community, and particularly your community. I would not give any of those kind of comments the time of day, because if you do, you will start to soak it up and they will be like seeds and they will grow. And the more that you listen to people's comments on your appearance or your personality, you will start to think that it's true, and it's not. It's just that this person has decided to attack you for all the reasons we've just talked about. The less time that you can spend looking at negative comments and the more time you spend responding to positive comments is going to swing the balance in your favor. Your confidence will grow. You will forget all about the negativity. And as much as it might be satisfying to respond to someone attacking your personality or your appearance, the best thing to do is just move on and forget them. Remove the comment, downvote, block, whatever it is. Move on and think about all the positive things that people are saying about what you do. Now, just before we finish, I want to drop an analogy on you that a friend of mine sort of talked about with me. If you imagine the world as a bath, or in this case, imagine the platform that you're on, YouTube, Instagram, whatever it is, as a bath. Now that water in the bath is full of all the things that are happening. And if you imagine the 2 taps, normally it's a hot tap and a cold tap, but in this case it is a positive tap and a negative tap. Now we want to turn the water in the bath positive. We want to make it a positive place to be. There's only one way of doing that, and that is to turn on the positive tap. Eventually, that water will turn positive. There will be more positivity in there than negativity, so it will start to be a more positive place to be, and that is an analogy to describe the way that I think we should be acting on social media. If that resonated with you, then I think you'll probably enjoy some of my other videos. I'll throw a couple up on the screen right now that I think will help you. And as I say, if you enjoyed, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and if you do, I will see you in the next video. Thanks very much.